on the campus during his tenure.
Mooney also faces the $250 million budget cut across the UW system by the Republican-controlled legislature in 2015. Boeing pleads guilty to one criminal fraud charge in a controversial deal with the Department of Justice. Here's ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas.
An earlier investigation found the company was not building safe 737 MAX airliners, and that the company had misled federal regulators looking into the crashes of Ethiopian Air Flight 302 and Lion Air Flight 610. Boeing has faced additional scrutiny after a door blew off in a flight earlier this year, causing an in-flight emergency and injuring passengers.
Family members of those who died in crashes don't believe the penalties are near harsh enough. They want company executives charged as well. DOJ officials say senior company officials could still face charges. Hundreds of flights into and out of Houston canceled or delayed as Hurricane Beryl impacts the region. More than 500 flights canceled out of Bush International Airport and more than 120 flights out of Hobby Airport, according to FlightAware. The storm came ashore this morning about 90 miles south of Houston, packing 80-mile-an-hour winds. More people flew Sunday than any other day in U.S. history. Here's ABC's Brian Clark.
The holiday travel period is not fully over. The TSA projected it would screen 32 million people from the end of June through today. But yesterday, as expected, was the busiest day ever. Numbers show that for the first time in its history, the TSA screened more than 3 million travelers in a single day.
Milwaukee's Kilbourne Avenue Bridge downtown is fully functional this morning. It was stuck in the air late Sunday. Milwaukee Department of Public Works confirmed to WTMJ that the closure was due to a mechanical issue. One of the nation's largest French-themed celebrations kicks off Thursday, Bastille Days at Cathedral Square Park. Executive Director of Alliance Francois Anne Laplace says they're bringing back all the favorites this year.
The 5K run on Thursday night, the Eiffel Tower, and of course the wonderful beignets. There's fantastic food. There'll be over 25 food vendors and the entertainment on 5 stages during the whole 4 days.
Parking for the festival may become challenging as visitors for the RNC start to arrive over the weekend. The play recommends planning ahead or using public transportation. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is up 163 points, the Nasdaq up 24, and the S&P 500 is up 7. Inflation isn't going away. Download your copy of Safeguarding Against Inflation: Strategies for Wealth Preservation at annexwealth.com/inflation. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Now open in Wauwatosa.
I'm Dave Sager. I'm the chairman of Bethlehem Evangelical Lutheran Church and School. In 1998, we made a decision to buy some property in Germantown. It was always the mindset someday we would build a church on that property. Horicon Bank bent over backwards for us repeatedly. I can't tell you how many times I reached out to Michelle on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Can you help me out? And it would not be possible without Horicon Bank and Catalyst Construction. Just amazing individuals, and it's all family.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Brewer Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers avoided a sweep against the Dodgers following a 9-2 win from the finale from L.A. Milwaukee hosts the Pirates tomorrow night. And Giannis helped Greece cruise by Croatia 80-69 at a qualifying tournament yesterday, clinching a spot in the Paris Olympics. Taking a look at your roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. No major delays to report. Typical drive times, 94 east, Highway 16 to the Zoo, about a 10-minute drive. The Zoo to the Marquette Interchange, about 6 minutes. 45 southbound from Highway Q to the Zoo, about a 14-minute drive. And 94 north, Layton Avenue to the Marquette Interchange, about 7 minutes this morning. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some hit or miss showers and storms today, a high of 82, but that chance of storms ends this evening. Mostly cloudy overnight, low 66. Cloudy and 80 tomorrow. Mostly cloudy Wednesday with just a chance of rain as Beryl passes to the south. A high Wednesday, 76. Mostly sunny, a chance of isolated storms on Thursday, a high of 80. And sunshine on Friday, a high of 83. Madison, 76. Green Bay, 75. And Milwaukee, 77 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's time for the Upswing on WTMJ, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Showcasing businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Here's Jeff Sherman.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place yours.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Hope you had a festive 4th of July weekend. Just an amazing weekend all around, for sure. So, the RNC begins next week right here in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. So I wanted to use our regular Milwaukee Momentum theme on this Monday show to have a conversation around technology, our nation's defense, aerospace, and data privacy. No matter what party is in charge, there's a lot of opportunity for business in this sector. And one Milwaukee company is leading the charge to kind of better curate the ecosystem and showcase how small and medium-sized businesses can work with the Department of Defense to solve big challenges. Michael Adam is the CEO of Adam Aerospace. He joins us today. And for the last couple segments of the show, we're going to kind of come back down to earth a little bit from aerospace to the beach. And we're going to preview an event that's happening this Wednesday on Milwaukee's lakefront. And specifically, we're going to talk about the impact of sponsorship on that event and how local entities like Joy Engine keep events going strong right here in Greater Milwaukee. But first, Michael Adam joins us. Michael, how are you this beautiful Monday?
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for having me. Good morning, Milwaukee.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time. So before we kind of get into the nuts and bolts of what you're doing this Thursday and talk about your company, just give us your background, Michael.
Yeah, I am born and raised in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And went down to Nashville for college. I was a middle linebacker for the Vanderbilt Commodores down the SEC.
Nice. All right.
And then you stayed away for a long time. Went to France for a few years, played some ball over there, then California, Scottsdale, Chicago, and came back to Milwaukee about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So happy to be home and excited to be here. And that's really, I think, what allowed me to launch Adam Aerospace was being in a great city like this and not being on the coast with all the expensive costs. And it was a really great place to start the business.
So out of school, what was your focus, and then kind of what led you back to Milwaukee? Was it family and opportunity?
Yeah. So after grad school, after my MBA, I was in finance for a decade, which is kind of crazy because I don't really picture myself in that role now that I look back at it. But it was great because I got to work with businesses. My last part of my financial career, I was in private equity, so I got to see, companies build and companies scale. And then after the financial crisis in about 2009, 2010 is when I started my first software company. So this is software company number 2, and it's going great.
All right, very good. Well, we talk about it a little bit after the first break, but I want to know, just kind of give us the background of Adam Aerospace. I mean, you at the heart, use blockchain technology to verify and protect data,
right,
among other things. But kind of for the everyday user, define what blockchain is.
Yeah, so demystifying blockchain.
Yes.
Blockchain is really simple. It's just a ledger system.
Okay.
So if you think of, back in the day, ledgers were on paper. You would just write something down, and that was like a transaction or a record of what happened. Blockchain is a ledger, but it uses like an advanced cryptography methodology. So it wraps any type of data or whatever you're trying to do in a hash or in an encryption or a SHA-256 hash, which is like a 62 or 64 digit character code that can't be like uncoded.
Okay.
And then the blockchain portion of itself is the ledger, is the system. So if you think of like your personal computer at home, like that's a node, and that's a centralized node. So like what do you store at home? If you store it on your hard drive, that's on one node. If you store it in the cloud, it's probably on multiple nodes or multiple kind of computers. What blockchain does is it uses a distributed ledger. So imagine like 1 million computers all over the world, all verifying that transaction at the same time.
Okay.
So because of its distributed nature, it's nearly impossible to hack, right? Because if someone wanted to hack your personal computer, all they have to do is hack that one node. If they want to hack a blockchain, they would have to simultaneously attack all of those nodes at the exact same time, which is computing. Today's computing powered would not allow that to happen.
Okay. Well, when we come back from the break, Michael Adam continue to join us. We're going to talk about how Adam Aerospace works with the Department of Defense, specifically on military-based blockchain. This is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, and you're listening to WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents, and the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. Don't miss the largest vacation sale in the nation. It's the Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations. We have a huge selection of resorts at our favorite destinations in Mexico and the Caribbean, paired with nonstop flights to get you there fast. If you like saving, you do not want to miss this sale. Plus, enter for a chance to win an all-inclusive vacation. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive list. That's foxworldtravel.com/July.
Welcome back to The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. Michael Adam, CEO of Adam Aerospace, based right here in Milwaukee, joins us this morning. Company uses blockchain technology to verify and protect personal data, among other things. So, Michael, tell us about like a consumer application for what your company does.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now our biggest customer is the Department of Defense, specifically United States Air Force, Space Force, and Air National Guard. And our technology, our core technology is called Zenith Zero. And what it does, if you picture like a funnel, it takes super large data sets. The data set goes through the funnel. We assign it that cryptographic signature, and then we put it on blockchain or a distributed ledger. We do that in a matter of seconds. Like it's almost real time. Like 1.2 seconds is kind of our average speed on that. So for the Department of Defense, our first contracts were to do that with aircraft data.
Okay.
So software updates in the aircraft, and then the data that's generated on the aircraft during the flight. So we take that aircraft data, read it, sign it a signature, put it on chain. the reason we do that is because that data is now instantaneously auditable, and it can be verified and checked at any time. So we're establishing this verified provenance of data, of this life cycle of the data.
So from a user standpoint, if I'm watching a in-flight movie, let's say, like where's those protections and that scale coming from?
Right. So I know the Business Journal mentioned streaming movies and all that stuff. We don't really get into that part of the aircraft.
Okay.
We're more like, what is the engine doing? What is the software that's running the airplane doing? What are the sensors in the aircraft doing? So, that's one use case. Our newest contract with the Air Force and Space Force is taking that exact same product, Zenith Zero, but instead of doing aircraft data, we're now doing all personal records and personal data of the warfighter, of the airman, and of the guardian. So from day one basic training, boot camp, all the way to retirement, any healthcare records you are creating, any education you go through the Air Force, any type of documentation that you produce, we now secure that with that Zenith Zero blockchain technology on a forward-facing product, a SaaS, a software as a service product called Base.
Okay.
If anybody wants to check that out, especially United States veterans, that website is foreverbase.io. But that one launches. That contract started 12 months ago, and that product will be launched in about 3 months, and we're super excited because that's going to have a really big impact on personal data privacy and data protection for United States warfighters and for veterans.
So knowing that veterans and current military officials, their data is protected on a unified source.
And a unified source, and then hopefully the goal is for United States veterans is to make that VA process much easier. So getting your disability rating up as high as possible, getting your paperwork into the VA faster, more secure. So we're really excited about that technology.
And probably one thing that a lot of people truly don't maybe understand is the Department of Defense works in many different ways, right? With small businesses, with medium-sized businesses, not only on military applications, but health and wellness, right?
Right, absolutely. So when people hear DoD, they usually think like guns and drones.
Yes.
But it's so much more than that. So when you think about the United States government, they're one of the largest employers, if not the largest employer of people in the United States. So, we've seen small businesses get contracts with the Department of Defense, like a fitness app or some type of, new food company. Anything that you and I would need as a human being, like a warfighter is a human being as well, obviously. So, the Department of Defense is investing in making their life, as efficient and effective as possible. And you're seeing it all over the board with like wearable technologies, with whatever it is to advance human performance and mental wellness. And, the DoD is the avenues into the DoD. There are many of them.
Yeah.
Getting into it is not the easiest part.
Well, and I know that that's one of your passions, to help kind of curate the tech ecosystem in Wisconsin so that the small, medium-sized companies have the opportunity for the large-scale Department of Defense contracts. And it's probably not an incredibly easy road to get there, so you have to have mentors like you to help guide the way.
Yeah, so we were lucky. I mean, we got our first Department of Defense contract in our first year of business, and now we're on our fourth contract with the DoD. So, by all means, like, we're kicking some butt in that space. Now that we kind of have those inroads and we know the process, we want to pay it forward through a nonprofit that the collective we, myself and people from other organizations, and including the Air National Guard, Sergeant David Brown, who leads an effort called Forward Works. We're trying to kind of pay it forward and help these Wisconsin companies kind of demystify the getting into the DoD and breaking down those barriers, and helping them compete for those defense contractors, defense contracts with a higher success rate.
Well, when we come back from the break, that's what we want to discuss. You have a big event coming up on Thursday, Innovation Ranch, that will do just that, help curate and connect small, medium-sized businesses here in Wisconsin to go after larger scale contracts. This is the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, and you're listening to WTMJ.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me as we count down to the RNC in Milwaukee. We'll talk to the biggest names across the political landscape.
The idea of having the convention here is to advertise the city of Milwaukee. And it's not good advertising for the city of Milwaukee if they're throwing Molotov cocktails and overturning cop cars.
Full podcast available on WTMJ.com or text RNC to the Old National Bank talk and text line and get a link sent directly to you.
Decision Wisconsin 2024 coverage is presented by Pasternak and Zerga Bell.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 10 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties, Folgers or Dunkin' Donuts K-Cups or bag coffee, $5.99. 12 count 0.5 liter bottles, Ice Mountain Spring Water, 2 for $7. 3 to 6 count selected varieties, Snickers or Dove Ice Cream Novelties, $3.99. 4-pack selected varieties, Dannon 2 Good Greek Yogurt, 2 for $8.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. Summer is here, but before we know it, we'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure you're ready by remembering the 3 R's of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants away with a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today to make those minor repairs before they become huge headaches. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. Michael Adam Aerospace joins us for one more segment here. So, Michael, what are some of the biggest challenges in ensuring kind of the responsible use of technology, especially with aerospace and defense contracts?
Right. So the DoD does a good job of making sure that your technology is sound. So there's all these barriers you have to go through, these certification. There's like something called DISA. There's FedRAMP. So just because you have a technology and it's in like a commercial use, let's say you had a software and it's being used by banks and now you want to put it into the DoD, they're going to run it through the ringer, right? They're going to try to break it, bend it, twist it, hack it. So once you get through that process, then you're pretty solid. If you make changes to the technology, changes as well. But I think that's on the technical side. Kind of on the moral side, it's am I using this for the right thing? Is this going to be placed on a weapon system? If it is on a weapon system, is it doing what I want it to do? Is it verifying that data on that weapon system? When you get to like AI, that's a totally different subject. Like what's the responsible use of artificial intelligence in the DoD? Which is pretty interesting because we're starting to play in that game as well. And it's more about the trustworthiness of that AI.
Are there any specific developments technology-wise that are just, super exciting or surprising in your space that you're like, whoa?
Yeah, I think, since I'm a software person, I'm always fascinated by hardware. So the emergence of drones and drone warfare has been, expedited, and we're seeing a lot of it in the Ukraine-Russian conflict, especially with swarm drones and autonomous drones. Because drones are fairly easy to manufacture. They're not easy to weaponize, but they are weaponizable, obviously, as we've seen. So the anti-drone technology is getting pretty cool. Imagine a car, but it's like a trailer, and then a big magnet or a big shield comes up, and it's like a electromagnetic pulse that just like pops them down out of the sky. So that type of stuff to me is fascinating because it's physical hardware, and I'm a software person. But then space is the next. There's so much going in space, happening in space right now. The budget for space technology is huge. The DoD is asking for space weapons. They're asking for companies to create these things. So it's wild.
I know you wanted to say space is the next frontier. I saw it in your eyes. I saw it in your eyes, and that would have been good.
No, it's fine. Right, exactly.
So in terms of your event coming up on Thursday at the War Memorial Innovation Ranch, what are you hoping to do there with small, medium-sized businesses and providing access and kind of continuing to curate the tech ecosystem here in Milwaukee?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the event, it's called Defense Tech Focus 24. It's Thursday, 3 to 8. So I'll probably, people listening, if you want to come, probably get there around like 3 to 5 is probably when the most action is going to happen. We're trying to bring together small businesses, defense innovation teams. So like the Air Force Innovation Team, the Air Guard Innovation Team, as well as venture capital, private equity, and then just players in that defense ecosystem, and have everybody kind of just meet and talk and share. There will be some tech on tables. Some local Wisconsin, Milwaukee companies will have their technology displayed there. So you get to see some pretty cool stuff, anywhere from large drones to anti-deepfake software. I mean, some pretty cool wearable stuff. So there's a lot of really interesting things that is being made here in Milwaukee that people really don't know about. But it's really just to kind of galvanize that ecosystem, and then to see what we can do going forward as a collective group to bolster defense innovation in the state of Wisconsin, and kind of formalizing that. Maybe it's like through applying for some federal dollars or federal grants together to kind of build that ecosystem here.
And I'm guessing there's more and more collaboration in the space too. I mean, what are some of the other companies you're working with that you've helped, whether secure contracts for or work in partnership with?
Yeah, absolutely. So, even though we're a bigger company, we love working and collaborating with Astronautics Corporation of America. They're a larger prime contractor, but they have a great team. Manette Aero, they are based in Wisconsin as well. They make big drones, as big as a car, that all over the world, and so they fly them up, and they're tethered, and they're wartime or whatever, radio signals and Wi-Fi, and they're awesome. And then we're starting a new cohort it's called Defense X. That website's defx.tech.
All right,
an accelerator program, and that is to help these small companies do it.
Very good. Michael Adam from Adam Aerospace joins us today. Appreciate your time. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Hurricane Beryl holding on to that Category 1 strength as it made landfall early this morning in South Texas, moved up through Houston.
With 80-mile-an-hour winds, Beryl came ashore at Matagorda Bay, and along with the extreme gusts.
We've got substantial flooding along the Gulf Coast.
Mitch Thames of Matagorda County is pleading with the public.
Please stay where you are. It is not safe to be on the road.
In suburban Houston, meanwhile, one person died when a tree fell on a home. Headed into the midday, Beryl had knocked out power to 2 million homes and businesses. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Beryl is now a tropical storm. In a letter to his fellow Democrats, President Biden sent this morning saying he is still convinced he is the most qualified person to defeat Donald Trump this fall. Boeing has agreed to a deal with the Justice Department that will avoid a trial but result in a $246 billion fine for misleading federal regulators looking into the crashes of 2 Boeing 737 MAX jets. Families of some who died in those planes say Boeing's getting off easy.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. Deadly weekend shooting on Milwaukee's north side over the weekend. A 51-year-old shot and killed at 57th and Hampton. 52-year-old man surrendered to police at a police station. They say it was domestic violence. Police chase beginning in Pleasant Prairie comes to a fatal end over the border in Illinois Saturday. Driver of a stolen car ran from an attempted traffic stop. Police gave chase and used a tire deflating device near the town of Russell. The driver continued, ran a red light, hit an SUV. 8 people were hurt, and the 32-year-old driver of the stolen car was killed. Ascension raising room and board rates at their Southeast Wisconsin hospital locations. The organization cited rising expenses in a notice regarding the price increases that took effect July 1st. Ascension says the increases were necessary to offset bad debt and charity care, as well as cost increases and reduced reimbursement from government programs. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is up 41 points at 39,417. The Nasdaq is up 62 at 18,415, and the S&P 500 is up 6 points at 5,573. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with the fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Typical drive time still 94 East, Highway 16 to the Zoo, a 10-minute drive. The Zoo to the Market interchange about 6. And 4145 southbound from Highway Q to the Zoo will take you about 14 minutes this hour. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Hit or miss showers and storms today with a high of 82, but that chance for storms ends tonight with an overnight low of 66. Cloudy and 80 tomorrow. A chance of rain on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, a high 76. Thursday, mostly sunny. A chance of an isolated storm at a high of 80. Then sunshine returns on Friday with a high of 83. 76 in Madison, Green Bay 75, and 77 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
When you see the relief on a husband's face, the tears of joy from a wife, a son, or a daughter, you understand the magnitude of what we're doing here. I'm Dr. Matthew Cooper, Director of Solid Organ Transplantation at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. As we look to lead the way in transplantation, we're always thinking about what's next and how to maximize outcomes and quality. Clinical trials, scientific research, using the latest technology, offering living donor transplantation, they're all crucial to how we're advancing the science. None of this happens without an all-star team. We mobilize the best of every supporting discipline, from mental health to dietary to pharmacy. We don't have to refer patients outside of the system. The transplant experts are right here. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing ahead because the work we do not only changes the playing field, it changes lives.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We are presented by Horicon Bank. From aerospace to beach space, the business of events on our beaches with Joy Engine. Happy to be joined right now by Executive Director Steph Salvia. She is the Executive Director of Milwaukee-based Joy Engine. Gargantuan fluorescent tentacles are taking over Milwaukee's lakefront Wednesday. But first, Steph, how are you this fine morning?
I'm great. Had a really fun weekend. Just, the best of the best for Milwaukee staycations.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, whole lot of stuff going on, and it doesn't stop, right? It just keeps on going. We roll right into your event Wednesday, to Bastille Days, to the RNC. It just keeps coming, and that's why we live here. That's what
I'm
it's all
good
about.
with it. Yeah, I think we can all take a nap in like February for a minute.
Yes. So give us the background of what Joy Engine is all about and how you help activate spaces through sponsorship and partnership.
Right. So Joy Engine actually is newer to the nonprofit scene. We started in 2019, and it was founded by a couple of folks who've done a lot of traveling and thought we need to bring more like really cool art installations to Milwaukee. So they launched a nonprofit. We started the very first event we ever did was it sounds so weird. We hung a giant moon in Catalano Square Park, downtown Milwaukee, in the historic Third Ward. And it was, I think, maybe 30 feet. It was an exact replica of the moon. It lit up at night, and we programmed an entire weekend in August around that. And it was actually a celebration of 40 years of the lunar landing. So that's how it started.
All right.
And it's just kind of kept spinning from there.
And that's a perfect connection with our last guest, too, Michael Adams from Adam Aerospace, right? You got the space connection there. We bring it all together on the Monday Upswing show.
Exactly.
So in terms of what you're working on for Wednesday and then for the rest of the summer, give us some background on what's coming to Bradford Beach?
Bradford Beach. So, yeah, we're having actually a series of 4 events this time.
Okay.
We've decided as we've, gotten a little older here to try to figure out a better rhythm for our art events. And sometimes that one-off pop-up event, people miss it, and then they're like, oh, shoot, we didn't get to check it out. So now we decided this summer to try a series of 4 events. And just so happened that, we just love our beaches, like an amazing amenity our beaches are here.
But on the flip side, the beaches are somewhat underactivated, right? I mean, a great place to hang out, really accessible, really easy to get to, but not a lot of events happen there. So is that obviously an opportunity, but
yes.
Are there some challenges with activating the beaches?
I mean, it'll be interesting to set up in sand, quite honestly. But I think that's the beauty of it. It's not really been done before, so let's give this a shot and bring people to a beach. They're accessible, like people are familiar with a beach day, and this one we're just happening to transform it into a little bit of a different beach vibe by creating some art installations.
And as you're looking to create installations, whether it's on a beach or a side of a building or some of the other things your organization has done, how do you kind of go about that research? Like, hey, where can we reimagine? Where can we find the funds? Kind of how can we activate? What's that process from your organization's lens?
Actually, it's been somewhat random, to be honest. A lot of us will kind of be on social media and see something super cool on Instagram and kind of start digging into that. And have we done that here before? Or would that be something that would really wow people? And that's kind of what we're looking for. We literally are trying to create joy for the city of Milwaukee through larger-than-life installations. So we'd like to try to find things that you're just not going to see on the regular.
All right. Activating joy. That's what it's all about. This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank. We'll be right back with Steph Salvia from Joy Engine.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hi, it's WTMJ's Jeff Sherman with a few words about my friends at Horicon Bank. For more than 125 years, Horicon Bank has built a foundation of beneficial relationships with their customers, now serving the greater Milwaukee area with branches in Wauwatosa, my hometown, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, and Grafton. Horicon Bank is eternally linked to the growth and prosperity of their families and businesses in our community. Together, doing good. That's Horicon Bank's vision. For all of your commercial and personal banking needs, Horicon Bank truly is the natural choice. Member FDIC.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands. We all love Saturdays, but are they really all that rewarding? I mean, do you really feel rewarded after mowing the lawn or doing all your I gotta do this because today's the weekend whatevers? Well, Potawatomi wants your Saturdays to be the most rewarding ever with a share of $400,000 in cash and prizes. Just play this July for prize drawing entries. Win on Saturdays. Plus, each Potawatomi rewards level gets their own drawing. Rewarding Saturdays at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. For more details, visit paysbig.com/rewarding. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 7/31/2024.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you the farm supplies you need because we get you. Right now, it's our summer feed sale, so save on the best brands for your animals. Like AgriMaster 16% layer crumble poultry feed, $11.99 each for rewards members when you buy 3. Get $100 off a DeWalt FlexVolt hammer drill and impact driver kit. 15% off assorted Hillman Builders hardware. And all K&N oil filters start at $13.99. We get you what you need because we get you at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Welcome back to the Upswing. Let's continue our conversation with Steph Salvia from Joy Engine. Steph, so this Wednesday begins the first of 4 events, Art Blaze on the beach. Tell us more about the event and all the partners involved.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of partners involved to make this happen. Of course, Milwaukee County Parks, Milwaukee County Parks Foundation, Volley Life, which is the organization that manages all of those volleyball teams and courts on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been working with them because they were kind enough to actually, like, for this upcoming event, they'll take down 2 rows of nets for us. They had to reschedule some games, but at least we have, space to come straight off the pavilion and activate that whole space.
Okay. So what can people expect to see as they're coming down the lakefront? What will emerge from right behind the Bradford Beach Pavilion?
Right. So it sounds, again, some of these things we do sound super weird, but we have commissioned local artists from Fuzz Pop Workshop to create larger-than-life sea creatures. So, yes, and they have like 35-foot tentacles, and they're amazing. We actually did a test run Saturday morning at Bradford Beach to make sure they were going to work. They're massive. So.
Inflated, or what's the what's the installation process?
Yes, they're inflatable. So they've been sewing like crazy for a couple of months here, and they're all painted by hand as well. So it's hard to describe. It's something you have to see in person. So you'll have 4 opportunities to do that.
All right. So as you're raising money and putting these things together, like, how important is kind of the access to the local business community and kind of civic partnerships to power these type of events?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we want other people to buy into the fact that we're literally creating, joy for the city of Milwaukee. And not only that, we are uplifting local artists. We pay them all fair wages. we just want to celebrate, what the city is.
Yeah. And what are, as an organization, what are some of the other urban spaces that you'd like to reimagine? Obviously, we talked a bit about the beach. The beach, while it's a wonderful, easy, accessible place, it doesn't get a ton of events. So are there other spaces around the greater Milwaukee area that you see, wow, there's an opportunity here to do something unique?
It kind of depends upon what weird idea we're thinking about.
Okay.
So it kind of, we start with the really weird idea, and then where would that fit best?
All right, that's good. What are some of the other Joy Engine things that are coming up for the rest of the summer?
Oh, wow. Well, we do sponsor a lot of other artists and arts organizations in the city. So we are, following along with a lot of those activations that will happen kind of throughout the summer. We also sponsor the Funk Tunes, which is the Milwaukee River Roundup that happens every single Wednesday all the way through September. And that's a fun one. That's a band that plays on the back of a pontoon, and they go up and down the Milwaukee River.
Ah, okay. All right. Very good. When's the next event? Are they in concert with another event, or is that just kind of a random surprise and delight thing?
That's its own thing, but it happens literally every Wednesday. So it's a local Milwaukee band every single Wednesday on the back of a pontoon boat.
All right. Surprise, delight. Joy Engine, making our community bigger, bolder, and brighter each and every day. Steph Salvia joins us from Joy Engine. This is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I was not the look good, feel good, play good guy, because if that was the case, I never would have played good.
See the world from his perspective on Wisconsin's Morning News every day at 7:50.
I wouldn't give two rips. If I had to wear concrete boots and I knew that would make me play better, I'd do it.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Make the most of summer when the Brewers take on the Nationals July 12th through the 14th, featuring a Brewers Image Viewer giveaway and Cerveceros Day festivities. Get on board at brewers.com/tickets.
I love the Fox and Hounds, voted the best supper club in the area and serving fabulous meals for almost 90 years in their rustic timber building. WTMJ's John Mercure here. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free always. Desserts, too. It's the best dining value in the state. Steak, seafood, pasta, even the steak and lobster, and prime rib on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Your second dinner is free as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. Relax with your favorite beverage on the patio in the woods. It's spectacular. Incredible place to have a drink. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds, a summer must-see. Gift cards are perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free, FREE free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Tables are open at my favorite place, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints for your next project at Menards. Save time with a fresh coat in one coat. Dutch Boy's Forever Interior Paint and Primer offers powerhouse protection with its stain-blocking, odor-reducing technologies. And with Dutch Boy's easy-opening, smooth-pouring container, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints at Menards. #1 in customer satisfaction among home improvement retailers, according to J.D. Power. For more information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Save big money at Menards.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. Public art, without a doubt, has the power to stimulate dialogue and foster healing and create and inspire change. And there's good organizations all around town that are doing this each and every day. As we come out of Summerfest and we head into Bastille Days and the RNC and so many other events for the rest of the summer, Joy Engine is working on a new event that kicks off this Wednesday at Milwaukee's Bradford Beach. Art Blaze on the Beach, a series of free beach parties that, again, kick off July 10th to light up your summer nights with music, big art installations, and more. Steph Salvia is the executive director of Joy Engine. So, Steph, how does Joy Engine kind of balance the creation of temporary events like this, but also work to kind of do more permanent installations around the area? I mean, I'm sure as you talk with funders and partners, like, that's a big focus too. Like, let's continue to beautify the area and make it a place that people want to come to.
Right. Well, once a year, we actually like to launch what we call our community challenge grants. And the idea literally is open to artists and or arts organizations how to create joy in a neighborhood and or a community. So it doesn't have to be, it's very much open-ended, because we feel like art is, there's just so many different kinds of art. And there are just amazing people doing awesome things to create community in those neighborhoods. And a lot of those projects kind of get launched with us through this grant process. And then oftentimes other sponsors or foundations, will recognize what they're doing and kick in, and those are able to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, we often talk on the show about building ecosystems, and creating a compelling marketplace and arts ecosystem in the area is really important. You get that first grant from something like Joy Engine, you may be able to open up your own studio. You may find opportunities at other events. So it's truly important to build that that power of collaboration with your partners.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit like a jump start, to get things going.
Yeah.
And maybe, people have had this idea for a really long time, but they've never quite known how to take the next step. So this seems to be kind of that way to go.
So for each one of the 4 events for Art Blaze, will the activations be the same in the look and feel?
So they'll be a little bit different. So the art installations, these giant sea creatures that we created, those will be the same just because they're massive.
Yeah,
and it'd be too hard to create new ones for each event. But each time there's different programming happening.
Okay.
So like for this one, it's pretty fun. It's always local musicians. We have a silent disco, which is going to be kind of cool and different. We have wonderful lineup of performers. Some of them you've probably heard of, like Wave Chappelle, Trapper Shep. And what's even more fun about this one is that this event happens to coincide with the Villa Terrace, who is having a massive drone show, 400 drones.
Yes.
It just happens, like Bradford Beach happens to be one of the best places to view this drone show too. So that's kind of fun. So we've kind of been collaborating on that.
Another benefit of Milwaukee. Sometimes we just bring all of our events together at one point, but you can experience, no matter what side of the lake you're on, you're going to be able to experience something really joyful.
Totally.
And that's a beautiful thing for sure.
Yes.
All right. So remind us of what the dates are for the event.
So July 10th is this first one at Bradford. The second one will be July 31st. That one will be at South Shore Beach.
Okay.
August 7th will also be South Shore Beach. And then we'll close it out back at Bradford Beach on August 21st. And that one is pretty special because as it's kind of like the finale, so we're bringing a world-renowned sand sculptor in for that one to create a ginormous sand creature.
Oh, nice. All right. So what can people expect from that? Have you seen this installation in other markets?
Well, he'll create something original for Milwaukee. He's actually from Milwaukee, but has spent most of his career traveling the world to to put this stuff together. So he's actually pretty excited too to be able to create some art in Milwaukee.
All right, very good, very good. Art Blaze on the Beach, presented by Joy Engine and powered by its good partners and our civic leaders here in the wonderful community downtown Milwaukee. Happens at Bradford Beach on Wednesday. What time?
We go from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Well, technically, we have to be out of there and cleaned up by 10 p.m. So.
Okay, all right. But people can show up at any time throughout and experience it.
Absolutely. Come down, enjoy music. We'll have s'mores and all that kind of fun stuff as well.
All right, very good. Steph Salvia, Executive Director of Joy Engine. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the week and have a wonderful event.
Thanks.
Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Adam Roberts. Filling in for Jessica Ty is coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow when we talk collaboration between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin business.